Ladies and gentlemen, now available via my ProWrestlingTees.com online shop, Get Off My TV. The perfect shirt you could be wearing every Monday night when we see the likes of Kane, The Big Show, Ryback, and among many others that we just can't stand to see on Monday nights. I now bring to you and available for purchase this weekend, starting today. Get Off My TV, man. ProWrestlingTees.com/Off The Script, $19.99. Get your new merchandise and support Off The Script today. Once again, that's ProWrestlingTees.com/Off The Script. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, and this is number 98, part number 2 of the number 1 fucking source right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. This is Off The Script. This is the number 1 fucking podcast you will see in your subscription boxes when it comes to WWE, man. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Saturday morning. A little later than usual. I needed my sleep, man. I was very tired, so I do apologize for the later than usual upload, but I needed my sleep, man. But I will never leave you guys without an Off The Script episode. Alright, so don't worry about that. Got a lot of news. I'm hearing more news about The Rock and his involvement with WWE, possibly being at the Royal Rumble. If I hear anything concrete-wise, as far as news article goes, I will let you guys know tomorrow on Off The Script. But right now, I really can't find anything. I am hearing rumblings from other content creators on YouTube. I don't have any sources. I'm also hearing this from forums and, a few forums that I've been, patrolling for the last couple of hours. Can't really find anything regarding The Rock. But I am hearing rumors of maybe The Rock and Roman Reigns in the main event at WrestleMania, man. So that's another avenue WWE can go down. And if I do hear anything regarding that, I will let you guys know tomorrow on Off The Script. But I do have news on Roman Reigns today. Also news on Vince McMahon and Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose. A few things I got for you guys in part 2, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I do want to thank each and every one of you for the kind words and the well wishes on part 1. Really means a lot to me. I will continue to bring you guys the news and rumors like I always do, man, from a trusted, honest, and credible individual like myself. I will give you guys the most raw, the most honest opinion out there on the current WWE product. I will never sugarcoat or bullshit any one of you guys, so I thank each and every one of you who have continued to stick with me as we are on the road now in 2016 towards 50,000 subscribers, man. Let's do it. I would like to do it before WrestleMania, but I might be getting my hopes up with that one. Either way, we're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, right? So thank each and every one of you for your continued love and support. I do have a big live stream going on Twitch later today, WWE 2K16. If you guys want in on that, please follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206 to get notifications of when I do go live inside the mind of a creative genius for WWE 2K16, man. I'm giving you guys the wrestling product that you want and that you're not getting with Vince McMahon's WWE Raw. So make sure you guys tune into that. And I'll be live on Twitch sometime this afternoon, later this afternoon, or early tonight. That's Twitch TV or twitch.tv/JD from NY206. And as always, if you guys want to support the show, ProWrestlingTees.com/Off The Script, my official Pro Wrestling Tees Off The Script online store. Please go and get your new Get Off My TV t-shirt, man. It's selling great. Thank you to those who have already purchased that one. $19.99, ships internationally, comes in all sizes, and it's a great way to represent what you don't want on your TV when the likes of The Big Show and Kane and Ryback and all these other goons come out that you just don't want on your TV. Make sure you're representing the t-shirt, man. $19.99, that's ProWrestlingTees.com/Off The Script. Now, let's get into the news, guys. I got news on Roman Reigns. You guys know how I feel about Roman Reigns. You guys know that I've went off on Roman Reigns here and there in the last couple of weeks, ever since he's won the WWE Championship. I don't dislike Roman Reigns. I don't. And this is what the goons that come to my channel think. They think that I dislike Roman Reigns. I don't. I dislike the way WWE is writing and handling Roman Reigns. I would have went about it a completely different way. I would have taken a risk. I would have taken a chance on making Roman Reigns different. You see, the thing with Roman Reigns is, and this is the one glaring problem I've always had with Roman Reigns, he's never, ever even attempted to try and leave the shadow of the Shield. Everything about Roman Reigns continues on in his character from what he did in the Shield. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's not how you grow as a WWE competitor. That's not how you grow as a WWE superstar. All the greats went through change. Cena, Undertaker, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, The Rock, Hulk Hogan. Everybody went through change, bro. Everybody. Roman Reigns, to me, and WWE handling Roman Reigns is not taking risks. The biggest risk of all would have made him heel. Turn him heel. Back in the day, when we were all watching WCW, did we ever even fathom the idea of Hulk Hogan turning heel? When the NWO was first formed at Bash at the Beach, with Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Mean Gene Okerlund in the ring, that ring was paraded, that ring was fucking bombarded with trash. In anger. Because of what Hogan did. One leg drop to Macho Man Randy Savage turned the wrestling world upside down. Did we ever even fathom that Hulk Hogan was going to be a heel? Did we even have it in our minds that Hulk Hogan would be a great heel? No. They took a risk. They did not care about the backlash from all the yellow and red Hulkamaniacs. They went about it and said, you know what? This needs to be done. This is new. This is fresh. This is exciting. It's a risk. To make money, there is risk involved. That's exactly what they did. Same thing. It wouldn't have had the same impact. Nowhere even close. But you guys get where I'm going with this. It would have had the same reaction with Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose was built up as a face. He's beloved. People love him. They want to see him. He's respected. If Roman Reigns turned heel, it wouldn't have gotten the same reaction as Hulk Hogan forming the NWO. But it would have been a risk. It would have been a change that is sorely needed to Roman Reigns' character. He has not left what he did in the Shield behind. He lives the Shield every single day. That is not going to grow his character. The ring entrance, the ring gear, the theme music. There needs to be subtle changes here and there if they want this man to be the face of the company. Roman Reigns, to me right now, I look at him and I look at his entire WWE being. From his gear to his theme music to his mannerisms. He doesn't speak to me as number one. I don't see him as a number one guy. Not yet. Will he? Yes. But not yet. He is a factory-made superstar chosen and put in the spot because WWE wants him to be there. And I don't understand why WWE is so hell-bent on making him the number one guy. John Cena is not going anywhere. John Cena is not leaving WWE. You think John Cena is just going to willingly give up his number one spot? I mean, really. Main eventing manias and being in the main event every fucking week on Monday Night Raw. being the #1 guy to go to Good Morning America and on The Tonight Show and all these other different fucking places. John Cena loves that. Make-A-Wish. The fucking Susan G. Komen shit. You think John Cena is willing to give all that up and take a fucking, I wouldn't say a pay cut, but a reduced role in WWE? Of course not. Anybody in that position, anybody who's been in the spotlight at #1 wants to be #1. Will always want to be #1 and will continue to want to be #1. John Cena's not going anywhere. John Cena is ready to leave when John Cena is ready to leave. The fact that WWE is putting Roman Reigns in this position, yeah, I understand the need for another #1 guy. But there should have been multiple #1 guys on the roster right now in the company that are employed and being paid by Vince himself. Owens, Ambrose, whoever, Wyatt. There should have been multiple #1 guys. Neville, Breeze, Ziggler. WWE has put all their eggs in one basket, and I said this, and I keep saying this each and every week. They put all their stock in Roman Reigns to get this man to #1. And they bypassed everybody else and said this. They gave them the finger. It's not the way it should have been. To build a successful company as a whole, you have to distribute attention and detail and love all over the place. If you put all the fucking eggs in the basket for Roman Reigns and you give everybody fucking scraps, it's not going to build a roster that everybody wants to see. This is why nobody cares about Monday Night Raw. This is why nobody cares about the people on the program each and every Monday. Because there's no genuine emotion towards these characters. You have shown us nothing about these characters. You put them out there, they win one week. You put them out there, they lose one week. How are we supposed to care? No storylines. No storyline-driven angles. Nothing. Just matches that don't make sense. Roman Reigns needs to change things here and there about his look if he wants to be #1. The ring entrance, the gear, and the theme music gotta be tweaked. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose have made a living in WWE because they gave up on what they did in the Shield. They went on to create new characters and meanwhile remain true to who they are. Dean Ambrose, so simple as coming out in a wife beater and black jeans or jeans and sneakers. Lunatic Fringe. A man who's got a few loose screws up here. Goes out there and just does what the fuck he wants, man. You never know what he's going to do. Seth Rollins. Bought in to Seth Rollins. Bought into the idea of, listen, I'm the man now. This is who I need to be to get ahead. You know? Was with the Authority, became the corporate guy. He eventually became the #1 guy in the company because of what he did in the ring. New theme music, new look. He didn't keep the same Shield gear. He didn't keep the same ring entrance and the same fucking, outfit. Same thing with Ambrose. These guys changed and molded into who they are today. Roman Reigns is still doing the same shit. How can I believe he's a #1 guy if something so simple as all three of those aspects remain unchanged? Roman Reigns needs to have subtle changes done. The first change should have been done at the Survivor Series with a heel turn. That would have been great. It would have been different. It would have been a risk. From there, you could have changed him into a genuine Roman Reigns character. But something needs to be done now. If they're going to keep him a face, maybe bring some family background, some heritage into his character, change his ring entrance, give him a new fucking theme song, bro. Seriously. I can't take him seriously if he's coming out to that Shield shit. The Shield is done. That's his past. If he wants to move on and look forward to the future, changes need to be made. What am I getting at? After all that ranting, there's been said to be significant talk within WWE after the recent terror attacks in Paris about changing Roman Reigns' ring gear and entrance. The talk started up again after the recent terror attacks in San Bernadino, California, but Vince McMahon made the decision to keep Reigns look how it is. Vince felt that making such changes to Reigns would be a knee-jerk reaction overnight when they're trying to make real progress with him as a top babyface. Some also feel the fans don't connect with Reigns wearing tactical gear with what a terrorist might wear. There was some concern that if similar attacks continue to happen, it could look bad or end up bad if they have the top babyface in the company coming through the crowd wearing all black tactical gear. While no changes have been made, there may be subtle attempts to make Reigns look less menacing, and significant changes are not ruled out if attacks continue to happen. Progress needs to be made. You know? He doesn't look menacing. He needs to have that attitude continue to be menacing. His gear slightly needs to be altered. You know? The ring entrance, he can still come through the crowd. If he wants to continue that, I don't mind that. The ring entrance and the theme need to go. Or the outfit, I mean. The outfit and the ring and the theme music need to go. The entrance is okay. You know, nobody else does that. Nobody else comes through the crowd like Reigns. That's his deal. But the theme music and the outfit, changes need to be made, man. You got to differentiate Roman Reigns in 2016 from Roman Reigns in the Shield. Because right now, if you look at both and compare both side by side, there's nothing. There's no different. In fact, he might be worse now than he was then. He's gotten a little bit better in the ring, but if anybody's going to take him seriously as a superstar, as a legit superstar, and I'm talking not because he's a pretty boy and all the women want to fucking take their clothes off once they look at this guy. No, that doesn't make a superstar. What makes a superstar is what WWE did with a Cena, an Undertaker, an Austin, a Bret Hart, a Shawn Michaels, a Rock. Those are superstars. Follow the same formula that you followed with those guys and apply it to Roman Reigns. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. If we have to live with Roman Reigns being a factory-made man, a company guy, picked by the higher-ups of WWE, at least make it enjoyable. I don't want to see another Cena. I don't want to see another Hogan. I just don't want to see it, man. Times have changed. You know? This is why people gravitated towards a Bryan and a Punk. And now they're gravitating towards an Owens, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Because those guys were not what the WWE wanted. You know? If Roman Reigns was anything like those three guys and getting the reaction that he's getting now, I think people would enjoy it more. If he was not a handpicked guy and the fans knew that, I think the reaction would be better. Right now, it's split 50-50. You're going to have the idiots who don't know what the fuck they're talking about and don't know the WWE product. Then you're going to have guys like us on Off the Script who might respect a little of what Roman Reigns does, but we're not sold on him completely. Roman Reigns needs to change. Subtle changes need to be made. To me, anyway. I don't know how you guys feel about making him a top star. Changes need to be made. There was talk last month of WWE Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose being slightly banged up and dealing with a wrist issue. His injuries weren't believed to be serious, and they are something that he will continue to work through up until the Royal Rumble. Dean Ambrose, I like what he's doing. I don't mind that he's the champion. I like the feud that he's currently in with Kevin Owens. I thought Kevin Owens, the smart move would have been to have Owens hold on to the title. But I didn't know WWE's logic in giving Ambrose the title. You know, finally he's in something meaningful instead of floating around all over the place and, you know, him in a U.S. title feud and an IC title feud and a world title feud, floating all over the mid-card. He had no direction whatsoever. Now he seems to be on the track where they have some direction with what they're giving him. But being that he's banged up, WWE cannot risk any more injuries, especially with Dean Ambrose, who's been so hot, and he's going to be important for WWE TV going into WrestleMania. You don't want to overuse him. You got the Royal Rumble. Everybody's assuming it's going to be Ambrose and Owens for the IC title. You don't want to overuse him on Raw and SmackDown to the point where you're going to continue to have him injure his wrist. Give him some time off. You don't need him on every house show. Give him some time to rest, get his wrist right, and have him go into the Royal Rumble near 100%. You don't want to overwork him. You got bigger things planned for him, you know. You can have him on the show, you can showcase him, you can feature him on Raw. You don't necessarily need to put him in the ring to further injure him. Because WWE, the last thing that they want is more injuries. But Ambrose working with a wrist issue, believed not to be serious, but you don't want to continue pushing him to the point where it does become serious. Give him some time off. WWE did another round of wellness tests last month. No word on any failures. That's always good news. Some WWE officials have interest in signing former TNA Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, for WWE NXT. No word yet if they've been offered deals or tryouts, but they've been discussed recently. The feeling is that they are stars with experience that could really help the NXT roster. I love this move. If this was to happen, and you added the Motor City Machine Guns to the tag team division of NXT, which is completely on fire right now, I would love that, man. Tag team wrestling is fucking unbelievable in NXT right now. You got so many good teams down there. Leading the way, Jordan and Gable. You got the Vaudevillains. You got Dash and Dawson. You got Enzo and Cass. You got the Hype Bros. You know? You got Blake and Murphy. You add Motor City Machine Guns to that, I think you got some damn good competition, bro. I would love that move. You know, I didn't watch much TNA back in the day. I knew of the Motor City Machine Guns. I love their gimmick. I love their size. I love their in-ring work. I was not a big fan of TNA, but when I did tune in here and there, I've always enjoyed watching the Motor City Machine Guns. I would love this move for NXT, especially if WWE wants to take this thing on the tour, on the road, I should say. They want to make NXT a touring brand. Right now, they're not profitable. WWE and Triple H want to make NXT profitable. I don't necessarily agree with taking them on the road 7 days a week. I really don't. But if you're going to add the Motor City Machine Guns to the roster, to bolster the roster, to enhance the roster, I love that move. All the talent that's out there right now that is willing to come into WWE, give them a shot. Make this thing big. I see big things for NXT in 2016, and what a way that would be to start the year than getting the Motor City Machine Guns in NXT for the tag team roster, man. That would be fucking awesome. Can you imagine a tag team match with them and Jordan and Gable? Holy shit, man. That would be fucking epic. I would love to see it. Make it happen. Triple H. There's been speculation that Vince McMahon would bring the Mr. McMahon character back to WWE due to the decline in ratings, but the decision to bring him back on the December 14th Raw wasn't made until that Sunday. Word is that Vince McMahon was very pleased with how the initial return went. No word yet on his reaction to how this past Monday went, but one source believed that it fell flat to the previous appearance. Of course it fell flat. You know? Everybody, all the smart fans out there, were complaining that it was rehashed. And it really didn't make any sense. It was not needed. They did the angle, took the whole thing off Roman Reigns, and put the spotlight solely on Vince McMahon being arrested. You know? And then he comes back at the end of the show, makes bail, leaves the precinct, goes back to the arena, and then books a title match with him as the referee next week. I appreciate the cliffhanger, but we went through a whole 3-hour show of not knowing what had happened with Vince McMahon. He was arrested. Overdone, overbooked, rehashed garbage. And then Vince Russo was on Out of Nowhere with Joe and I. If you missed it, link is down below. Episode 10. Fucking epic. Absolutely epic. He talked about it, and he made a very, very valid point. We, as the modern-day WWE fan who watched back in the day, are going to say this is rehashed. You know? We've seen this. We've seen it all. But you got to keep in mind that the product and the audience is different. Some people nowadays that go to the arena and watch at home did not watch back in the Attitude Era. They have no idea what happened back in the Attitude Era. So when they see Vince McMahon getting arrested, to them, it's fresh. To them, it's new. Meanwhile, to guys like us, we've seen it all. But, again, that still doesn't take away from the fact that it was overdone. It was overbooked and overscripted. You know, I really didn't care for it. McMahon always shines in his roles. I love his mannerisms. I love when he gets angry. I love the Mr. McMahon character. Greatest heel of all time. But they could have went about it much better. The cliffhanger is there for Monday. Everybody's going to be watching Monday. You know, his first appearance when he came back and confronted Roman Reigns after beating up Triple H at TLC. That first segment was great. That first segment was great. And then Vince McMahon at the end of the night trying to screw Roman Reigns out of the title. You know, referee is there. He's distracting the referee. He receives a Superman punch at the end. Roman Reigns overcomes all the odds. He wins the title. Some people liked it. I seen it for what it is, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I ranted about it. You guys know my deal on that. I didn't think Roman Reigns and the direction that they went with Roman Reigns was the right one. I would have went a completely different way. But what the fuck do I know? Of course, that previous appearance was going to be better than what we seen on Monday Night Raw this past Monday. It just fell flat. There was really no excitement, especially in Brooklyn. I mean, nobody really cared. Especially the people watching at home. I don't know about the people in the audience, but it didn't really come off that well. So, McMahon's going to be on Monday to ring in the new year with Vince McMahon and the Mr. McMahon character. He's going to be there. Special guest referee, Roman Reigns, Sheamus, WWE Championship match. Going to be interesting to see how WWE handles this going into the first Raw of 2016. And finally, guys, to end this week's part 2, on a related note, speaking of Vince McMahon, there was a story backstage that someone recently mentioned to Vince that Kevin Owens had gained weight. This is a new story, by the way. Again, this is being brought up. Owens has been over and praised for his work as a heel, but there's always concern about talents keeping up with the look that Vince prefers. Owens also has the support of Triple H, and we haven't heard anything being said to him by officials about his weight. Why would they go to Triple H about it when everybody knows that Kevin Owens is one of Triple H's boys? And this thing with him being overweight, listen. Nobody says anything about Bray Wyatt. Why? Bray Wyatt is a big guy. He's a husky guy. Husky Harris, right? He's got a look, to me, that is great. I love Bray Wyatt's look. You know? He's not skinny. He's not big. He's just built. He's a big guy. Same thing with Kevin Owens. He's a big guy. Kevin Owens will not be a fucking Greek god sculpted into what Vince McMahon wants. He's not going to be a Batista. He's not going to be a John Cena. Not going to happen. It's not going to be a Chris Masters. Even though that character went nowhere. I like the Masterpiece. I thought that was a good gimmick. I've seen big things for him, but WWE, again, they just fucking floundered on the character, and then before you know it, he was fucking fired and released and terminated. But you guys get my point. He's not going to be a Masterpiece body type. Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens. And if he does lose weight significantly, then it's going to be a double-edged sword. You're going to have people in WWE, oh, he looks great. Then you're going to have the online internet wrestling community. Kevin Owens is a sellout. He's nothing more than a WWE product now. You're not going to make anybody happy. Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens. I don't want to see Kevin Owens change because that's who he is. And the reason why people gravitate towards Kevin Owens is because he's real. He is who he is. This is why people love the Bryan, a Punk. They love the Zanes. They love the Ballers. This is a new generation, bro. The smaller guys and the husky guys are what we want to see. His look does nothing to what he does in the ring. He may look overweight to a Kevin Dunn and a Vince McMahon, but realistically, who else is working the type of matches that Kevin Owens is? Every time Kevin Owens is on TV, he's putting on a great match. That's what should matter here. Not his look. I don't get it. I know Vince Russo's not a big fan of Kevin Owens because of his look. He doesn't look like a superstar. This is not what Vince McMahon is looking for. And that being from someone who worked alongside Vince McMahon in WWE Creative. I understand his logic and his reasoning for that. And I understand where he's coming from. But it's a different age now. To me, out of all the years I've been watching WWE, Kevin Owens is the type of guy that I want to see in the ring. I'm not familiar with Kevin Steen and what he did and how he looked back in Ring of Honor and his independent days. But from what I've seen in WWE, from his birth in NXT, to his debut, to winning the title down there, to coming up to the main roster and bringing John Cena, of all people, to fucking 5-star classics back to back. This is the Kevin Owens that we want to see. Kevin Owens has been masterful for the majority of his WWE main roster stint. There was a period there when he first won the IC title and he was put into a Ryback feud that nobody gave a shit about. You know? Nobody could bring Ryback to a good match. He's just fucking awful. But Kevin Owens, from what he did down in NXT to what we see right now and his look and everything in between, you don't want to change that. Kevin Owens is a future WWE champion. He is the future of the company. People like him. People relate to him. And his heel work has been great. For the last 2 weeks, they've been giving him momentum. Building him nicely towards a nice match with Dean Ambrose at the Royal Rumble, which I'm assuming will be announced very, very soon. Keep that momentum going. Finally, we see the Kevin Owens that we've seen down at NXT on Monday Night Raw. Violent, brutal, real, honest. That's what I want. Do not change Kevin Owens. If you think Kevin Owens is fat, rethink your logic. Take a look at Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas is in need of a fucking gym. I'm watching SmackDown on Thursday, and he's in a match with Dolph Ziggler, and I see this guy parading around, the fucking fat that's fucking flabbing all over the place as he's running around the ring, losing to Dolph Ziggler on SmackDown. That's the kind of guy that needs a gym. Kevin Owens, not so much. Bo Dallas looks disgusting. Yet you have to sit here and bitch and complain about Kevin Owens being fat? Open your eyes. That fat man, that man you call fat, can out-wrestle anyone on the fucking roster. The guy who's in tip-top shape with 0% body fat gets in the ring with Kevin Owens and he's embarrassed. What does that tell you? Who's the superstar then? I don't know. But to me, Kevin Owens is the superstar. And he's going to be a fucking huge piece to what WWE has planned going into the future. So if you hear anything about Kevin Owens and his weight, fuck that. Nobody says anything about Bray Wyatt. And then look at Bray's brother, Bo. Terrible. That man needs a fucking gym. Kevin Owens does not. Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens. Keep him the way he is. I enjoy it. And that's just the way it's going to be. You can't have him sculpted into a John Cena. It's not going to work that way. That's the way I think about that. That's what I think about that. Off the script. Closing the books on part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, everything you guys need is in the description down below. Make sure you guys check out everything. I'll be live on Twitch later on this afternoon with WWE 2K16. Going to be a fun time. Make sure you guys go out and get your cold beverages. It's going to be a good one, man. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up. And I'll see you all on Sunday for part 3 of Off the Script. This is JD, and I'll talk to you all very soon.